Welcome back, everyone. We have a fusion starting this Friday. I want to talk to you about what artifact sets are the best, what masteries are the best for this champion. We're going to test going through some dungeon runs with Netheril, who reduces the turn meter by 75%, just like he does. Is it going to be enough to go first in these dungeons or higher in Doom Tower or even in Arena and get a turn meter reduction enough to be able to stun everybody? Will it work? You've got to admit, this guy looks exactly like the Hound from Game of Thrones. We've already got Jaime Lannister in the game as Ramiro. I wonder what other Game of Thrones champion we're going to get. His A1's going to attack 2 times. We get a chance to stun, and then we get turn meter if we don't apply a stun. So on bosses, we're going to get 30% additional turn meter, which is really strong because his A2 is on a 3-turn cooldown. 3-turn cooldown without books. So I guess with books, we're going to get a 100% chance to apply the decreased turn meter and then 100% chance to apply the stun. So I'm assuming it won't take very many books unless there's a lot of additional damage in there. But even without books, it's still going to be playable. We drop that turn meter, we get those stuns, a lot like Archmage does for us on that second wave to help us out. 3-turn cooldown is great. Attack one enemy, ignore 50% defense. Now, depending on the multipliers, this can be really strong. He does 15% additional damage to bosses, takes 15% less damage from them. And the best thing about him is he has this passive here, which anytime he counterattacks, he's going to use this A3 to where he ignores 50% defense. Hopefully, he hits really hard. He's got decent survivability since he's going to be an attack-based champion, I would assume, and we can make this work out, even if you don't have counterattack. The saddest thing about this is there's only 3 champions in the game that really give us a decent amount of counterattack, and then we've got Drakh Ghul. Once his shields go down, we can counterattack. We've got artifact sets, which we're going to look at, and then we have masteries to help us out, and there is Jizzo on a 5-turn cooldown to give somebody 2 turns of counterattack, which really isn't going to be a good play unless you're brand new to the game. You've got Jizzo. You somehow do this fragment fusion, because fragment fusions are much easier. You just really need energy, some summons. You could pretty much get this done. I don't think that's going to be viable for a brand new account to use Jizzo with him, but it could work. I'm thinking with counterattack from Martyr, Skull Crusher, or Valkyrie that he's going to do really well on something like the Eternal Dragon 120 Doom Tower Hard. People already bring counterattack in there, especially with Martyr. If he can survive and get these counterattacks on the Eternal Dragon, it hits very, very hard, even with decreased attack up, and then even counterattack the side minions, that would be really nice. He'd be good there to make it faster and to take down the boss if you're doing decent damage on the boss. As far as most other bosses in the Doom Tower, we don't really use counterattack. It slows us down. We have better options. And it really wouldn't even work out on something like the Griffin, the Nether Spider. There's a lot out there that it won't work well in. You could use it in the Magma Dragon, but I feel like the Magma Dragon is one of the easiest ones to do. What bosses do you think it's going to work best for? We're not going to really utilize him, I don't think, much in Dragon. We're definitely not going to have counterattack happen in Fire Knight if we're depleting the Fire Knight's turn meter. We can use him in Ice Golem, but it becomes an issue of survivability then. Can we keep him alive and get those counterattacks off? Let's look at some artifact sets that we'll use to get counterattack. We can go over to Ice Golem and to Dragon, and we could just use a 4-piece artifact set to get counterattack. Say you don't have a counterattack champion, that's fine. We've got a 35% chance to counterattack when hit with a 4-piece set. Is it going to be worth doing this instead of having a Savage set? Well, if you don't have counterattack, I mean, we're going to have to, or we're just going to have to rely on masteries, and masteries do actually proc a lot. And then we've got the Avenging set, 45% chance when critical hit to counterattack. So either one of those sets would work. Let's see what masteries we could put on him to get a little additional counterattack. We'll come over here to Martyr, and we've got Retribution, 50% chance when you lose 25% of your HP or more. We just got to make sure we heal him back up, keep him alive. It'd be really fun in Arena if this guy can hit hard enough and counterattacks from this mastery along with your Savage set on, procs Helm Smasher, and just deplete somebody, clobbers them, and they're dead. That would be fun, and that might happen. So there could be a lot of RNG going on if you want Retribution, and then also if you want to get Deterrence. Both of these masteries I would get on him if I'm going to use him without counterattack. And especially for Arena, I would have those two on, ready to see how much damage he can do. We'll test that out as soon as we get him. It's going to be fun seeing if we can one-shot someone. Let's test the speeds and get a relative idea of how fast we need to be or how slow we need to be if they're really, really fast to get that turn meter reduction of 75% on someone to deplete their turn meter, and then we can stun everyone else on the team. Of course, we need accuracy for it. I wish it was irresistible. Then we wouldn't have to worry about accuracy on him at all. That would be really nice. We're going to use Nethril in place of him because Nethril does deplete the turn meter by 75% just like he does. Now, the speeds on normal dungeons are very slow. They're all at 100. So as long as you're at 200 or so, you're not going to have an issue with this. And if he goes first, it's going to help out because as you can see, every time my champions take a turn, even if they're fast, they still tick up. Their turn meter goes up a bit. We're still fine. 75% easy. Nethril's going to come in here and deplete it. It doesn't look like he depleted it because they got a tick right when he took a turn, but he did. They were nowhere near 75%, so then he would have done that to one person and then stun the rest of them. So we're safe here as long as you're relatively fast. More than likely, you're not going to be fast enough to catch them in hard Doom Tower. I like them having an Arbiter. There we go. There's an Arbiter. That way they can have decent speed if they get a boost. Okay, she's up there. I like this. Right? Now we've got Lysandra going. Okay, Lysandra's helping us out. Lysandra did turn meter reduction, so now because his Brachus is so slow, we could get Brachus. We could actually get Syl too. We could get these other three. They're all under 75%. But if they were relative speed to me, as long as I got the turn meter going first from Arbiter and then Lysandra lowering it, I think we'd be okay. I think then in Arena, we'd have the ability to stun them all. Most times. We just hit that target, so it's the slowest, right? Okay, let's go into Doom Tower and see what we have there. Doom Tower, they are really fast. Doom Tower, hard, floor 100 and above. Okay, we are going to need some accuracy. Actually, you know what? It doesn't even matter. We just need Nethril in here just to get an idea of his speed. We're not actually trying to use his ability. We just want to look at where they're at. And this is going to work out because I'm fast enough to provoke them right away. Now they're so fast, they're taking their turns. So I don't have to have him programmed to do another ability first, like his A1, to get that additional turn meter, 30%, and then loop back around and then try to do his A2 to deplete a turn meter on one of the enemies and then stun everyone. Because right now, he could go soon. Let's see what it looks like. Right? Get some protection. There he is. So it's his time to go. Well, okay, she's below 75% and the middle one is below 75% as well. So there are two that we could pick off. I'm hoping the AI is smart enough that we can just autoplay this and he will do that. He'll go after the lowest turn meter. Now, hopefully if the lowest turn meter is a high HP champion, he's probably not going to do that. He's probably going to hit the person that's the lowest HP because that's usually how it works. So we're going to have to play test it to see if it's going to work for us on auto. Otherwise, you're going to have to manual that. The Hound, where do you think we're going to play him? Let me know down below. Get the fusion done. This is a fragment fusion. It's relatively easy to do, and I think this champion is going to be fun. Some RNG fun to counterattack, ignore 50% defense, get the Savage set on him for another 25%, and just have some fun with some RNG counterattacks, or if you have counterattack, bring that in with him. Thanks so much for watching, guys. I will see you all in a video soon.